2015 Toyota Sienna spark plug replacement, oil change, wiper blades, cabin filter, air filter, and a battery. Not going to record everything, just the major stuff that you need to know about this particular vehicle, especially back here. Good stuff. When taking these clips off, use a small screwdriver and pop them up and just wiggle them out. If you come too high, they'll snap off. You don't have to disconnect the vacuum lines, just you got one vacuum line right there. That should be it. And then if you need to, you can take like a paint marker and mark where they go. My favorite color is pink. Pinky. Right there, boom. Now I know where it goes. Under, just in case. And you're gonna take the box mounting screws out. Wherever they're located. After you get the air box out, there's a little finger that sits back there. You got to take this off. The next thing I'm going to remove is the throttle body, and I'm not going to unplug it so I don't have to recalibrate it. There's two bolts, one here, one there. Pin that sits back there, disconnect the mass airflow sensor. Not difficult at all. One vacuum line right there, and then it'll slide right on out. You can take this one off if it's in your way, but I don't think you need to. And then 4 10s, and this big nipple that comes out of the intake tube. You'll see it. Now you're to the point where you can start. You got your throttle body. Make sure this bracket goes right there with the throttle body. Just lay it to the side. Lay this hose underneath the tube. You want it out of your way. Disconnect the vacuum lines. Sorry for the skittish. Today's my Monday, so whatever. There we go. Alright. Next step is to remove the bracket, which is my finger is right here. So I'm gonna go back there and show you this bolt. See that bolt right there? Right here. Take that off. And then you're gonna proceed to take the rest of these off, and then there's one more bolt back there. Let me see if I get my eyes on it. So on this back bolt, it's a 12 millimeter. I'm using a 1/4 inch drive, 12 millimeter socket. And once you get it loose, you can take it out by hand. And survey says, there it is. If you need to loosen the bracket, there's another bolt you can get to. You might need to use a ratchet or a ratchet wrench, but you can see right there where I'm putting it, just to loosen it. Hey, shit tight. Sound good. There we go. She loose now, I reckon. It'll help you get it out once it's loose a little bit. The intake. Correction, I have my hand on the wrong bolt, so we're going to be using this one down here so the bracket can move. See that there? Now the bracket moves. Put that one back. Tighten that one back up if you loosened it. So you'll see a bracket right there, the black bracket, rectangle in shape, with a 12 millimeter nut. I'm going after that one right there. So this is the bracket that you're after. This bolt attaches to the back of the manifold, and this one goes down to the valve cover. So once you get it out, I used a 12 millimeter short. I could have used an extension on it, but I was able to get it off without an extension. So there it is. Now it's time to take these bolts out. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Two 10 millimeters and a bunch of 5 millimeter Allens. Make sure you use 5mm Allen, otherwise you're going to create a problem. I always like to stick my tool down in there and loosen them up by hand first, just in case the head might want to get stripped out. So I've loosened all 4 of them. That's going to be your most difficult one. If you have a longer Allen to get in there, you can just simply twist your lips and push it through, and it'll sit in there and let it do. All right, so it's time to remove the intake manifold. Make sure you unplug this thing. I want to recommend you getting one of these. I'll put a link in my bio to get some of these. They pinch the connectors to make life easy to get them off if your fingers aren't big enough to do them. So the intake is ready to come out. There's a wiring harness on the back that might still be attached. So I'm just going to wiggle it out gently. That's it, there you go. And there she blows. Now it's time to replace the spark plugs. You got a intake, you got a vacuum line for the booster right there. So you really don't have to remove it all the way, just move it to the side. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to replace all my seals, put some paper towels in there to clean everything up. Good stuff. I went ahead and blocked off the intake, that way I don't lose anything inside and cause myself more stress and agony and pain. Back here you're going to be taking this bracket off, this wire harness here. Give yourself some more room to get to the spark plug connectors, and that's when once again this tool here will save your life. Come on, baby. There we go. Boom. These here. Oh, God. Right there. So now you have enough room to get to the connectors for the spark plugs, and just to demonstrate how they work, squeeze. Come on, baby. Squeeze and pull. Squeeze and pull. Life is easy. I'm not going to film replacing the spark plugs. If you've gotten this far, you know what you're pretty much doing. Oh, baby. Yeah, good stuff. So you want to put your coils back where you take them from. Inspect them for any oil. If you got oil in the dipstick tube, if you got oil in the spark plug tube, you need to replace your valve cover seals, which are located under there. So here's my 3 coils. Just going to put them in there loosely. I'm not ready to take the plugs out as of yet. Just wanted to show you. Still working on the back coils. They're a little bit stuck in there. It's got over 150,000 miles on it, so they've never had any plugs or service done for this thing. Not even oil change. Well, I don't know. Shit. I just know there's no oil in it. Once the coils are out, just set them in a safe place. That way they don't disappear on you. Okay. Boom. There they are. They're going to go back in the same way you see them. Now I'm going to take the plugs out. So here's all the spark plugs. Oh, not too bad. Mine are wear. Alright, so all the spark plugs have been replaced, coil's been reinstalled, everything is connected, all the brackets, and the wiring harness is back in position. Cleaned up the top of the intake manifold plenum with some degreaser, and now on to reassembly. Those 2 bolts, one goes here, one goes there for the back of the manifold, this bracket here, and the one that attaches to the valve cover down here above the coil back there, right there. So once you get your spark plugs replaced, now it's time to put your new gaskets on your intake manifold. Right down there. Went ahead and put some NGKs in it. Had Densos originally, so went with the NGKs. I didn't go with the NGKs. The customer went with the NGKs, but there you go. New intake manifold gaskets installed. About to reassemble, and then I'll come back with some torque specs. So the torque spec goes as follows. The 5mm bolts are 14 foot-pounds, and the outer nuts are 15 foot-pounds. And then there's no specific torque pattern, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna go with this one first. Here we go. 14. 14. 14 foot-pounds, and the last one at 14 foot-pounds will be back here. It's a little loose. Let's see. Nice of it. And the outer two are 15, and they're 10mm. And run down with your finger. Move this up to 15 foot-pounds. Come on. God damn it. Dagnabbit. Alright, we're at 15 foot-pounds on the outers. Now on the next step is putting the brackets back on in the back of the intake manifold. Those are also 14 foot-pounds. 15 foot-pounds done. So the two brackets and bolts, 3 bolts, are all installed, and tighten them up with my ratchet. You can't get a torque wrench back there, but do your best. And then your intake, your throttle body bolts are going to be 15 foot-pounds. So after you torque your manifold bolts, put your intake box back on. Make sure that you reconnect everything that you disassembled. This tube here goes in there. This get your ass. Oh. You can use some dielectric grease to help it slide in. And use some dielectric grease to slide the tube back into the intake. As you can see, can't use 2 hands because I'm holding the camera, but pops right in. Then you want to reconnect your purge valve like so, but you want to make sure you got it routed properly. Blah blah blah. So go underneath. Reattach the bracket. God damn it. So, intake tube is reinstalled, vacuum lines reattached, everything is fitting well, nothing is disconnected. Don't forget to plug in your mass airflow sensor back there. Not gonna say what happened here, but you'd already know. And then tighten up your clamp before you forget. Nice.